On the southern tip of Texas, just beyond the brushland and dunes of Boca Chica, something extraordinary is rising. It's not a stadium or a skyscraper, but something stranger, something that looks like the skeleton of a machine designed to change how humanity moves through space. This is Starbase, SpaceX's launch complex on the Gulf Coast. And in 2025, it has become the heart of the company's most ambitious industrial expansion yet, the construction of a massive new facility called the Gigabay. This Gigabay, an enormous 700,000 square foot structure, is not just another hangar or assembly shed. It's a factory engineered to produce one Starship a day, not per year, per day. The goal, confirmed in planning documents and public statements, is to push output to 1,000 ships annually, a scale never before attempted in rocketry. According to official filings with the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, the Gigabay is scheduled to begin construction in mid-2025 and be completed by December 2026. Construction is expected to cost $250 million. At nearly 380 feet high and stretching across an area larger than 10 football fields, the Gigabay dwarfs anything else at Starbase. It will house rows of parallel work cells, each designed to allow simultaneous construction of Starship upper stages and super heavy boosters. With multiple overhead cranes capable of lifting hundreds of tons, the factory is built for non-stop, modular assembly, an aerospace version of Detroit's most efficient car plants. This isn't the traditional one rocket at a time approach that has defined spaceflight for 60 years. It's manufacturing at orbital scale. What makes this development even more remarkable is what's happening just next door. In tandem with the Gigabay, SpaceX is building a dedicated air separation plant to generate its own liquid oxygen and nitrogen on-site, key ingredients in fueling Starship. Until now, these cryogenic propellants had to be trucked in from miles away. But with this new infrastructure, SpaceX can generate and store them on demand, eliminating bottlenecks and cutting down on hundreds of fuel transport trips per year. The permitting for this plant was filed and approved in July 2025. It will span 20 vertical structures over 1.6 acres and is expected to be completed within 8 to 12 months. The proximity to fragile coastal ecosystems required SpaceX to adopt mitigation plans, including restoring nearly 8,000 square feet of native vegetation and closely monitoring nearby sand dunes for erosion. This kind of regulatory oversight has become common at Starbase, where the collision between rapid development and environmental preservation is now a constant negotiation. From the outside, the Gigabay appears to be a single project, but it represents a deep shift inside SpaceX, one that reveals how seriously the company is pursuing its most ambitious goals. Elon Musk has long said that getting to Mars will require more than just engineering a new rocket. It requires building thousands of them. A city on Mars, or even a sustainable lunar presence, can't be launched from bespoke, handcrafted vehicles. It demands scale, reliability, volume, repetition. That's what the Gigabay is about. And that scale is not theoretical anymore. Ground preparation for the facility was spotted in live streams in early summer 2025, with geotextile layers and gravel pads being laid for the foundation. Permitting documents and regulatory filings align with on-the-ground construction timelines. This is real, it's happening, and when it's finished, it will mark the moment when SpaceX transitions from an experimental rocket company to something closer to an aerospace manufacturer with production goals more in line with Ford than NASA. The Gigabay's role isn't limited to Mars. The rockets it produces will also be used for other SpaceX missions. The Starlink constellation, point-to-point, suborbital flights, lunar cargo deliveries, and even military or national security payloads under future federal contracts. And with each ship built at marginally lower costs due to economies of scale, the company inches closer to a world where launch frequency goes up and prices come down, just like the internet infrastructure Starlink itself depends on. It's easy to forget how isolated Starbase once was. Just a few years ago, it was nothing more than a dusty road to a beach, bordered by wildlife reserves and surf. Today, it's a launch pad, a rocket yard, and soon, an enormous factory. The Gigabay is a symbol, not just of SpaceX's ambitions, but of a broader shift in American industrial strategy. Texas is no longer just a state with a rich history in oil, cattle, and football. It is now home to the largest rocket production line in the world. And this is only the beginning. On the wide-open plains of West Texas, near the city of Abilene, a silent revolution is taking shape. Far removed from the high-rises and highways of the big cities, a colossal complex is rising under a sweeping sky, a venture so vast and ambitious, it's been quietly dubbed Stargate. By 2025, this project has moved from whispers to bulldozers and cranes, as the first phase of what is planned to be a $100 billion AI campus breaks ground. When completed, Stargate will be a fortress of computation